Hello, I am Nicole Wagner and I'm so excited to make this short tutorial for you and show you guys how to trim and shape and apply your Nicole Wagner lashes. So before we get started, I just want to say thank you so much for investing in my new lash line. I'm super excited about it. A lot of work has gone into it and I know that you are going to love them. There is something for everybody and these are going to be easy to put on. They are going to fit your eyes well. And a lot of women struggle with putting on a strip lash. They've tried and they've tried and they tried. They can't seem to get it on right. And honestly, the biggest mistake I see people make is that when they don't put them on right, the lashes kind of stick straight out and then you can't see them. And I always say, well, what's the point of putting on lashes if you can't see them? We want them to really pop up. So the very first thing you need to do is you need to invest in a lash curler. At this time, I do not have one available on my site, but my favorite lash curler to date is actually the Shiseido one. You can get it at Sephora, you can get it at Nordstrom, just search online, but it is Shiseido, S-H-I-S-E-I-D-O. So this is a great lash curler. Now, I've already have my makeup on, obviously, but what you're gonna do is you're going to get in at the base of your lashes before you have mascara on, and you wanna kind of get all of them in, have your eye open. It's not as scary as it looks, I promise. Once they're in, and you can kind of go slowly, make sure you don't have any skin in there, which I don't, and then you're gonna actually pump. You're gonna get close to the base as you can, you're gonna really pump it. You're gonna come out, you're gonna take a look. You wanna make sure your lashes are all standing pretty straight up. Now, if you're too far out on the base, it's just gonna curl your lashes back into your eye. You don't want that. So you've gotta get close to the base so that way you get all the length and they just pop straight up. So you're gonna get in there and you're gonna do this a few times and you're gonna pump really hard. You might change the angle out like this to get in closer at the outside or maybe closer at the inside, but you're gonna do that with both your eyes. Sometimes I will even curl mine really good, put on mascara, and then sometimes they'll fall a little from the mascara. So what I'll do is I'll let them dry for like a good 5 minutes. And then you guys will go back to my lash curler and I'll either take toilet paper, a cotton pad, or a Q-tip. And you wanna make sure that you wipe off any residue, that front and back, because this is where people run into the problem that they think eyelash curlers pull their lashes out, which they don't. What happens is people don't curl their or clean their curlers. They get this buildup of mascara and then they put it on their lashes and they start doing this and it sticks. It gets all gummy and sticks to your lashes and then they pull it off and they pull their lashes. So it's not the eyelash curler at all. It's 150% safe. It's just that people don't clean it. The other thing is when you start to notice it getting a ridge in here, which mine is, you want to replace the sponge. And you can usually just Google replacement sponges or go to Shiseido or go to Sephora and buy one. Sometimes you need to buy a new lash curler. They're like $20, but you probably are fine with just 2 a year if you're curling your lashes every day. So that's the first thing you want to do. The second thing you want to do is you want to remove your new lashes from the box and you're going to just gently pull them off kind of in a downward motion. You don't want to just like grab it and rip them off because you might rip the lashes or parts of them off. Once you've done that, you're going to grab your Nicole Wagner little lash holders, lash applicator, and you're going to pick the lash up at the base. So this one that I am going to put on is All That Glitters, or sorry, All That Glitters, that's an eyeshadow color. Glitter is my favorite color. These are probably my favorites for me personally. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna apply some glue and we're gonna put them on, but first we have to trim them. So mine are already trimmed. I've worn these before. That's the nice thing is you can wear them multiple times, but you want to hold it up to your eye and remember that a lot of times they're gonna be way too long. So meaning you line up the inner corner. I say, okay, that's where I want the inner corner to line. And I'm gonna pull this down. Mine's already trimmed, so see how it lands perfectly at the outer edge of my eye. But a lot of times, you guys, your lash is gonna come down to here. It's gonna be way too long. You've got to trim that. So what you would do is you would kind of eyeball it. And let's say I had it lined up in the corner, but it was hanging way down here. I would take a look at where that is and I'd say, okay, I'm gonna need to cut off about probably that chunk and maybe a little bit of the second one. So I would take it off. I would take my scissors and you always cut from the outside, never the inside, because most of them are designed to be a little shorter on the inside. So you cut from the outside. So I would come and I would trim that piece off. Always do less because you can do more, but you can't put it back on. So start with a little, you're gonna go back, hold it up again. The other thing is I'll tell you, you guys, you don't want this inner corner to go all the way to the inner corner. It will be really uncomfortable and it will poke your eye. So you want it to go, you don't want it to be so far out. Like, see, if I started it way out here, it would look funny, right? Because I would have nothing in here. And you don't want it to go all the way in here because even though it would look pretty, like I said, it would be really uncomfortable. So we want it to definitely go around the corner of the eye, but just not all the way in. So right about there is a good place. Come on. So I'm gonna put that there. Again, I would line it up. Once it looks like it's all good, I say, okay, great. Now this is ready to have glue put on it. So you're gonna grab your lash glue. And what I like to do is I like to just very carefully squeeze a little out the top. Come on. Okay, there we go. And then I'm just gonna run the base of my lash across it, back and forth just a couple times. Make sure you get it all the way to the ends, okay? So now I'm gonna let this sit. So I'm gonna gently put it down on a surface. You're gonna do the same thing with the other side, which I have already done. So I'm going to, again, put that glue all the way along the bottom. Now this is the trickiest part, I would say, is making sure that you're putting it on when the glue is the right tackiness. You don't want it to be too wet. If I tried to put this on right now, it would just slide all around. And if you wait too long and it starts to totally go clear, that means it's dry and then it's not gonna stick. So I'm gonna give that about 2-3 minutes. I'm gonna keep an eye on it really carefully. Usually the outer edges will start to dry first and that's okay. As soon as you see those even start to go a little bit translucent, you probably wanna pop them on. So I'm gonna let them dry for a couple minutes and I'll be right back. All right, so one more thing, while they're drying, you guys, you wanna grab the edges and you wanna kind of bend it into a C like this. This is going to make it easier to put them on. If they're too straight, it's gonna be hard to bend those corners down and to stick. So while they're drying, just kind of go back and forth between them and they'll start to hold that shape. So just taking it and bouncing it back and forth like this, rolling it, not just holding it, but kind of trying to work it and bend it into that shape. So I'll go like this and I'll just kind of keep going back and forth like that while the glue is starting to get tacky so that it starts to hold that C shape. Now this one I can start to see that the edges are starting to get just the tiniest bit clear. So here's what we're gonna do. When you go to put it on, you guys, you are just going to look straight in the mirror. You're gonna pop your head back like this, chin up, but you're still looking straight. And you're gonna have your lash applicator, you're gonna come down. You do not wanna go this way. You're not gonna be able to get it on. The glue's gonna get all over your lashes. You gotta go behind your lashes and you gotta drop it down like you're a helicopter descending in, okay? So you're gonna tilt your head all the way back like this. And the first place you actually want it to touch is the center. So you're not laying the outside down first or the inside. You're lining it up exactly where you want it and you're actually gonna push the center on first. And you wanna go behind your lashes, but you wanna get as close as possible. It's actually gonna be touching your lashes a little. Okay, so I put it down. I'm gonna grab my little applicator here. Tweezers work too. And we're gonna push that inner corner down. Sometimes I even just use my finger. And we're gonna take this one and we're gonna push that down. Now what we're gonna do, this is really important. See how I'm gonna come out here, I'm gonna slide this on. Now we are going to pinch it all together, okay? We want these to adhere and blend with our lashes. We don't want there to be a difference between them. I'm gonna turn these around, make sure this little guy, see, so this is good, this is happening. So this little inner corner dried too quickly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my tweezers, so everything else is on. I'm gonna take the tiniest little bit of glue on the end of my tweezer, and I'm gonna go in and I'm just gonna put a dab of that right there on my lash line. And then I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna push it down so that that glues. And then I'm gonna squeeze it. There we go. So pushing, and I'm actually squeezing it with my natural lash so they all blend together. Because the other thing that you don't want is you don't want your lashes and your strip lash to be separated. right? So if they're separated, that's gonna look really funny. So there we go. So that one's on. And if your glue, if you can still see a little bit of the white glue, don't worry, it will dry and it will dry clear. So we're gonna take the next one. This one looks like it's completely perfect and ready to go. So same thing, eye back, push the center on first. Inner corner, outer corner, and then we're going to pinch them all together. If your lash applicator starts to stick to your lashes, that means it's got something on it. So again, take a Q-tip. If it's got mascara or anything on it, it'll start to get sticky. So make sure it's always clean before you use it. You can get in there, take a look, make sure everything is sticking. I always just do a couple extra pushes down. If you start to get your lashes on and you feel like they're not popping up enough, while it's still drying quickly, don't be afraid to do this and just literally push it up, push it back while it's drying. So there you go. Super easy. It'll take some practice, you guys, but I promise if you follow these techniques, you are going to master it. It's going to become easy. When I started doing strip lashes, and I'm a makeup artist, it was hard. It was hard at first, but all of these little techniques that I've learned along the way have helped me, and now I can do it just like that, and you're going to be able to too. So super excited for you. Again, thank you so much for supporting Nicole Wagner Lashes, and I cannot wait to see your guys' pictures. I want you to hashtag Nicole Wagner Lashes, tag me on Instagram at its_Nicole Wagner, and maybe you will get featured. Okay, have a good day.